Hello, everyone. It's Fred again from Notes of a Nomad, video number 154. Today, I want to talk about changes that have happened in my life, and changes that are going to happen in the future and affect the young people that I work with. So, let me start by sharing my screen. I think this might help put it in perspective. This is a picture. Unfortunately, it's not that clear, but I think you'll get the idea that it is a car from the 1940s. I believe this is 1944. And this is a person by the name of Fred who's sitting on the car. He would be 2 years old. And you'll notice things have changed. You don't see cars like that anymore. You do see people wearing hats. You notice that this young fella by the name of Fred, sitting on the car in 1944, was wearing a hat, still wearing hats. So there's something that hasn't changed, I guess. But lots of other things have changed. So, for example, you will find, if we just go through the little bit of history about some of the changes and things that we've noticed. Well, first of all, in the 1940s and in the 50s, this is where computers and sort of the beginning of the internet happened. And that only happened in the 1940s. And also, the jet engine was developed in the 1940s. And definitely, I would not be able to travel as much as I did or as quickly as I have if it wasn't for the jet engines that were developed in the 1940s. So that was something that has happened in my lifetime. And also in the 1950s, the first satellite went up, Sputnik, 1957, I believe. And all it did was go around the world and go beep, 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 nothing else. But look at today, in our cars, in our cell phones, etc. There's satellites up there that are sharing a lot of technology and information. So, and Starlink, which is one of the things Elon Musk is putting up, is going to revolutionize it even more, how interconnected we are with satellites. And then, of course, television. Well, there was no television until I think 1954, where I was in Northern Ontario. It arrived around that time. I remember seeing Elvis Presley shaking his hips and singing Blue Suede Shoes. That was exciting. We didn't have a TV. I went to the neighbors across the street who did have one to watch Elvis on Ed Sullivan show in the 1950s. And in the 1960s, there was a large invention like the lasers. Lasers have made a big difference in many areas in the world already, including medicine, etc. DVDs and CDs were using lasers as well as many other technologies. And then the World Wide Web. Well, that started probably around 1989. And look at what we're doing now on the internet. Almost everything, Google, etc. And of course, cell phones. I mean, these phones can do things that the computer I started working with in 1979 took the whole top floor of a large office building. Now, this is probably, I don't know how many times more powerful than that multi-million dollar computer that I started working on in 1979. Unbelievable the changes, and it's still going, proceeding. I guess if you've heard of Moore's Law, you'll know what I'm talking about, exponential growth. So those are some of them, and of course, social media. Well, we all know what that's done to us and how it's changed our lives. So with this adoption of all this technology, it's not only changes I've seen in my life. Can you imagine when somebody who's now young going to school, what it'll be like when they are my age? Unbelievable changes. And that gives the challenge of the generation and the young people that we're working with. How are they going to get the self-confidence to face jobs they don't even exist? I believe there was a study a few years ago that's saying 65% of the jobs that young people in school are going to be doing when they reach adulthood don't even exist. So they need to get the self-confidence, the communication skills, learn how to collaborate and communicate and work together so they can solve all the problems they're going to be faced. Never seen it before, something new to say, hey, never done this before, well, give it a try. And that's the spirit and that's the knowledge And that's the self-confidence that the younger generations need to cope with the rapid changes in the world. So that's why I'm going to Nepal in a couple of weeks' time. I'm not sure how many videos I'll be able to put up. I'll do my best, but the internet, I'll be in, I think it's at least 10 different locations a week at a time, 10 different cities, 10 different schools, while I'm there until the end of April. So with that, I'll say adios, au revoir, wishing you, your family, and friends lots of love and laughter. Bye for now, from Fred and Notes of a Nomad.